Hello everyone. I apologize we're unable to get together in person this year for Sports Awards. It's been a crazy year, obviously, and like with everything else, we'll make the best of it. First off, I'd like to thank you parents and the players for making this season work. Thank you for being flexible and willing to adjust your schedules on a moment's notice. It wasn't what we hoped for in a season. It was short and hectic and no postseason, but I'm glad the girls got to suit up and take the court together a few more times. We'll start things off with JV here. JV had an interesting season. For most of the year, they played with 6 girls, but they picked up some big wins and finished the season with a winning record. We had 5 different girls from the JV that finished the game as the leading scorer. They left their comfort zone a little bit and played some man-to-man defense, which for most of them they had never done much of in the past. My biggest takeaway for me from JV was their willingness to battle. As with every team, there are nights we didn't have it, and that happens. But for the season as a whole, this group showed up and battled. They battled each other, they battled conditioning, they battled mass, and they battled their opponents. I'm really looking forward to seeing the progress from this group over the next few seasons. So thank you, girls. As for the varsity, we played a tough schedule this year, but we saw some great things. It took us a few weeks to really get going, but the middle part of the season, we found our stride. Destroying Earlville, AFC, getting revenge on Plano. We even had DeKalb on the ropes. It's a season that I'll never forget for many reasons. Tessa Probert joined the 1,000-point club and rewrote the history books at HBR, breaking numerous school records en route to a top 10 finish in points, rebounds, and steals. Ashley Wackerlin built on a strong sophomore campaign from last year, and the final week really emerged as a force to be reckoned with heading into next year. Peyton Berry missed a good chunk of the season with an injury, but had a strong final week and played a large role in our barn burner games versus Newark and Indian Creek. Avery Zabel did what she does best. She rebounded and defended game after game. Morgan King improved from a great point guard to an elite point guard, cutting her turnovers per game in half from last year. Sydney Razzo-Ewan is an absolute nightmare for opposing teams. She's a menace on the defensive end, and her offensive rebounding was so fun to watch. To see her flying around the paint with 6-footers and snagging rebound after rebound, it was hilarious. But those were critical hustle plays for us. Devin Warner earned more and more playing time as the year went on, figuring out the physicality and the speed of the game. And as the year went on, we saw a few nights that she dominated, giving us a glimpse at what's to come. Dell Harrod came up about midseason and made an impact, getting her feet wet on varsity and held her own for us. Then Lisbeth, JoJo, and Maria all had multiple starts. All in all, it was a crazy year, and it felt like summer ball year without a postseason. It never really had that life or death mentality that we typically feel in a normal year. But the girls came in, they worked hard, they had fun, and they got to be together, which was something we weren't sure was ever gonna happen. So I'll miss this group very much. Every season is tough. This one is especially so. We had a 4-year varsity starter, another 4-year varsity kid, a 3-year varsity kid in there, a couple 2 years, and then one that was new to varsity this year. This class combined for a total of 344 games played, 179 starts, 1,829 points, and 1,395 rebounds. That's a lot of basketball. So thank you, girls. Now for our 2021 award winners. Our first award goes to the individual who led the team in assists. The 2021 assist leader is junior Morgan King. The ultimate team player, Morgan has led the team in assists the past 2 seasons, compiling a total of 199 in her career so far. Point guard is a tough position to play. Coach blames you for most of the team's problems. You have to handle pressure that no one else feels. It's a big responsibility, and Morgan plays the position as well as anyone I've had. So congratulations, Morgan. The second award of the night is the Sharpshooter Award. The 2021 Sharpshooter Award goes to senior Tessa Probert. Tessa's field goal percentage this year was 45%, which is the highest of any kid that I've ever coached, which is incredible considering most of her shots came from 4 or 5 feet behind the three-point line, not layups. Tessa broke the school record for three-pointers made in a career with 144. But not only did she break the school record for most made, but she did so efficiently, shooting over 34% from behind the arc. Over the past 3 seasons, there were only 5 games that Tessa didn't hit at least one three-pointer, hitting at least 1 3 in 62 of 67 games. Tessa also set the school record for free throw percentage in a season, shooting 84.2% this year. This award is appropriately named as Tessa is the epitome of a sharpshooter. So congratulations, Tessa Probert. Our third award is the Rebound Award. This year's 2021 Rebound Award winner is junior Sydney Razzo-Ewan. Sydney led the team with 50 offensive rebounds, and I talked about it earlier, but her ability to time rebounds and come flying in was so good, and it was really, really fun to watch. She just has a knack for the basketball and an unmatched desire to go get it. So congratulations, Sydney. The next award is for our most valuable defensive player. This award is determined by a cumulative score between player votes, coaches' votes, and statistical categories led. And our 2021 defensive MVP is Tessa Probert. Tessa has averaged over 4 steals per game over the last 3 seasons, and she's led the team in defensive rebounds over that same stretch. So making this award long overdue. She knew exactly when and where to be and knew what the other team was trying to do even before I did. In the fall, JuniorAllStar.com named Tessa one of the best defenders in the state, and she lived up to the honor this season. So congratulations, Tessa Probert. The next award is the Royal Award. This award is given to the individual who encompasses and embraces the things that we value most in our program, like relentless effort, a good attitude, being a great teammate, constant improvement. All these things are true of a handful of girls on the team, but this year's award winner was an easy choice for me. The 2021 Royal Award winner is Ashley Wackerlin. Ashley struggled out of the gate this year and had a rough first week. And I was hard on her, probably harder than I've ever been on anyone here at HBR. I pushed and pushed her to her breaking point, and she never once gave me an ounce of attitude, at least to my face. Instead, she responded by going out and getting herself selected to the Little 10 All-Conference team. It's fun to see a kid like Ashley succeed because you can clearly see her passion night in and night out. Every game and every practice. She lays it all on the line for this team. Not only that, but she's the best teammate we have. Her time on the bench is as passionate as when she's on the court. She's the first to high-five someone when they sub out and the first to her feet to cheer for her teammates on the court. We all know Ashley can be, Ashley. But there's a side to this kid that I fear not many people get to see. And I can tell you right now that Ashley is someone that you want to have your back, someone you want in your corner and on your team, whatever it may be. She's a loyal friend, and she's going to give you everything she's got and make whatever she's a part of better as a result. So she may try to hide it, but she cares, and she cares about this team, and she cares about her teammates. And that's why Ashley Wackerlin is our 2021 Royal Award winner. Our final award of the night is for Most Valuable Player. This year's MVP is Tessa Probert. Tessa led the team in points, rebounds, steals, assists, averaging over 20 points per game, 10 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 assists. Tessa was named first team All-Area, her third time being chosen to the All-Area team. She was unanimous All-Conference selection for the third consecutive year, becoming only the 4th Lady Royal in school history to do so. She was named to the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association All-State team, as well as the News Gazette All-State team. Tessa finished her high school career with 1,244 points, good enough for a top 10 finish in school history. And that's with missing half a season due to COVID and about 10 more games due to injury. She also finished in the top 5 in school history in rebounds and steals with 728 rebounds and 386 steals. She is one of two players in school history to finish in the top 8 in all 3 categories. She scored 95 of her 98 career games. The only 3 she didn't were during her freshman year. She scored in double figures in 60 games, 20 plus in 21 games, and scored 30 or more 5 times. Once again, more stats and awards than we can wrap our heads around. Bottom line, Tessa was as good of a high school basketball player as I've ever seen. And she worked harder than anyone I've ever coached to reach that level. I told the Daily Chronicle in 2018, about a month before she played a single game as a sophomore, that I thought Tessa was going to be a superstar one day. Probably a little bold of a statement, given she only averaged 4 points per game as a freshman. But if you saw her work as hard as I did at practice, you would have believed the same thing. But believing it will happen and actually seeing it happen are 2 different things. And Tessa had a million moments worth talking about. But 3 that stand out for me as turning points or crucial moments in her career. The first, her sophomore year, she had scored in double figures in 6 of the first 9 games of the season. So she was having a good year. But our 10th game versus Hiawatha, who was actually decent that year, Tessa had 17 points, 15 rebounds, 5 steals, and 5 assists as a sophomore. And I remember thinking after that game, okay, yeah, this kid's going to be pretty good. The second moment that sticks out to me was at the end of her sophomore year in our regional game versus Serena. It was a tight game. It was back and forth all night, multiple lead changes. Then, late in the third quarter, her sister Tori picked up her 4th foul. And before I could sub her out, one of the refs made a terrible call, and Tori fouled out of the game. So now, at this point in the game, we're down 1 with 9 minutes to go against a team that beat us by 30 2 weeks earlier. And now our point guard and captain is sitting next to me on the bench. So it didn't look good for us. But then Tessa put the team on her back and scored our next 12 points of the game, including going 8 for 8 from the free throw line in the 4th quarter. And she broke a lot of Husker hearts that night. And that was the moment that I knew she wasn't going to be good, that she was going to be great. So, and then the third moment that really stands out to me is our opening tournament last season at Elgin. We had a whole new team. I had a pretty good idea that Tess was going to score and have to lead this team. but she exploded that first week. She started the year off with 24 points, then 25, then 30. And at that point, all her hard work and everything that she had been working for, it had come full circle. All the work she had put in and paid off. She had officially arrived and announced herself as one of the best players in the state, and never looked back. Now, replacing a kid like Tessa is impossible. She not only worked her tail off and got better every day, but she made everyone around her better. And that's what makes her the most valuable player in our program. Aurora University is lucky to get a kid with her character and ability and work ethic. As much as she's improved and grown as a basketball player over the past few years, I can't wait to see what she does at the next level with more resources. So congratulations, Tessa Probert, on one of the best careers in Hinckley-Big Rock history. Thank you for letting us be a part of it and making us all better in the process. So thank you to everyone for being a part of this. For the seniors, thank you for all you did for the program, and all the underclassmen. Get to work. Can't wait for next season. Thank you.